Iyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata. Okay. We talked about the four essentials, and we also touched a little bit about on the two truths. Okay. The two truths. We see that what the object is. Let's say this flower. This object that we are seeing as a flower. This object. How group A sees to the naked eyes as a flower. How group B sees this as the emptiness of flower. These two are, they say, which of the two is the reality? The group A sees this as a flower. Group B says that there's no flower, is empty. Which of the two is correct? The second one is correct. The first one is wrong. Both are correct. How can both be correct? If I say that I'm a boy and I say that I'm a girl, how can that be correct? These two are contradictory. One say I say I'm a boy, others say I'm not a boy. These are contradictory. Yes, no? One say that Guru A says this is a flower, Guru B says no, the flower is empty. Which of the two is correct? Both are correct. Okay, the analysis is different. Group A employs which analysis? Conventional analysis. And Group B employs which analysis? Ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Whereas when I say I'm a boy, I'm a girl, both are conventional analysis. Within the same conventional analysis, then the two things can contradict. Whereas with the conventional analysis, ultimate analysis, the analysis is very different. Subjects are different. Because the subjects are different, the object can be seen differently. For example, say, Diana, what's your mother's name? Ines. What's your grandmother's name? Okay, Ines. Let's say Ines. Ines, Diana looks at Ines, my mother. And Diana's grandmother looks at Ines, my daughter. Right? So, the why one sees as mother, one sees as the daughter, is because of the subject. Subject is different. One, the subject is the daughter. From the daughter's view, Ines is seen as mother. From the grandmother's view, Ines is seen as the daughter. So therefore, it is not 100% from the object. It has to be spoken of from the frame of reference. Frame of reference. You getting it? So the subject makes a difference. So we speak about subjective existence. You're getting it? So therefore the object per se doesn't make any sense. It's only with relation to the subject that then we speak about the object. Likewise, so what is this? Flower. What is this? Emptiness of flower. Again, they say Group B will not agree with this as a flower. Group B will say, no, this is emptiness of flower. So they are talking from which point? From the point of view of, hey, Group B, don't sleep. Group B, you speak of this is emptiness of flower from the point of view of ultimate analysis. So for you, emptiness of flower appears to you. Flower disappears. Group A, you see this is a flower. So from which point of view you are speaking of this as a flower? Conventional analysis point of view. So therefore, simply because of the subject, conventional analysis, ultimate analysis, on that basis, then you describe what the object is. You getting it? Now imagine, this is a big challenge. Right? Ready? Are you ready? Okay, big challenge. Okay, what is this object? Don't give the answer right now. What is this object? Remove the ultimate analysis, remove the conventional analysis, remove these two. Tell me, what is this object? You cannot give the answer to the challenge. What is this object? Tell me. Remove the ultimate analysis, remove the subject, the conventional analysis, remove both the analysis. What is this object? Yes, Julia? Huh? No object? Daniel? Diana? Okay, anyone else? Hey, what is this? No? Wow, speechless. This is what sometimes the Buddha also described emptiness as which cannot be described. Right? So you cannot describe it. Okay. So look. So therefore, independent of the subject, what are the two subjects? Ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. These are the two subjects. You remove the two subjects, what is there? Right? Independent of the subject, what is there? Nothing. Yet, we cannot understand it. Yet, we still think that something is there. Do you still think that? Right? Oh, hey, Group A, look at it, what do you see? Emptiness. Flower. Group B, what do you see? Emptiness of flower, right? So this we see that why you are seeing this a flower, there's a flower there. It's nothing. Because of conventional analysis. Conventional analysis is object of the subject. Hey, Group A, don't go into emptiness directly. Hey, you are seeing this is a flower because of what? Conventional analysis. This conventional analysis is what? Subject with object. Subject. You getting it? Hey, Group B, what are you seeing? Emptiness of the flower. Why are you not seeing the flower? Why are you seeing the emptiness of the flower? Because you are subjecting this to the ultimate analysis. When you subject the object to the ultimate analysis, you see the emptiness of the object. You're getting it? Okay, now, ultimate analysis, is that the subject or the object? Ultimate analysis, your ultimate analysis. Ultimate analysis means the mind which looks at the object. The subject or the object? Subject, you're getting it? Now remove the two subjects. Conventional analysis, subject remove it. Ultimate analysis, subject you removed it. What is there? What is there? Flower? No. Flower makes sense only with the conventional analysis. Oh, no conventional analysis. Okay, emptiness of flower? Makes no sense. Because independent of the ultimate analysis, nothing makes sense. What is there? Makes no sense. You're getting it? Very scary. Very scary. You're getting it? So therefore, yesterday, yes, hope you.
Que devient le sujet si objectivement et utimement il n'y a rien? Que devient le sujet?
objectively and ultimately there is nothing, what happens of the subject?
Okay, this is a good question. Yes, if the ultimately if from object nothing is there, then what happens to the subject? Yes, yes, oh. Yes, this is a good question. So this question, both should remind me either this session or tomorrow morning session, right? Related to Shri Heruka. Shri Heruka, right? Which is the holy name of the Buddha Shri Heruka, right? Buddha Shri Heruka. So your question comes to this, right? Okay, don't forget it. What's the deity's name? Shri Heruka. Oh, don't forget it. Shri Heruka. You note it down, yes. Shri Heruka. Yeah. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Let her note it down. Noting down, again, leaves a very strong imprint connected with Shri Heruka. Maybe in her next life she'll become a great saint of Shri Heruka. Yeah. Great practitioner. Yeah. Wait, Shri Heruka. Note it down. Finish. Shri.
Je suis pas sûre de l'orthographe.
Good, okay. Let us not forget this question. If the object is not there, then what happens to the subject? This is a good question. Don't forget it, right? Okay. So with this, okay. What is the conclusion? Okay, conclusion we'll give it again. Okay, who's going to remind me the conclusion? We have to do it before we leave from the center. Who's going to remind me? Kapil Singh? Okay, I'm not responsible if I don't do the conclusion in the end, right? Okay, Kapil Singh is there. Kapil Singh will remind me. Okay, everybody is my witness. Okay, now let's see. Okay, say, how many of you been to airport, right? You have sent your baggage, not check-in baggage. What is that? Hand baggage. During the security, what do you do with the hand baggage? Virginia, what do you do? Hand baggage. Huh?
We have to put them on the
X-ray scan.
Yes.
Okay, I see. So the bags sent through X-ray scan. And you through X-ray scan? Oh, Dino also go to the X-ray scan. Yeah. It's not the X-ray scan. Detector. That is a metal detector, right? Whereas what Virginia is saying is the X-ray scan. Okay, don't forget it. What did Virginia said? What did Virginia say? That we have to send the baggage through the... How many of you... It seems like you have never seen X-ray scan. How many of you have seen X-ray scan? Raise your hands. How many of you have seen X-ray scan? Both? You have not seen? Okay. Interesting. X-ray scan. You have not been to hospital? You know X-ray scan? Okay, how many of you don't know X-ray scan? Raise your hands. Okay, everybody knows X-ray scan. Okay, everybody knows X-ray scan. X-ray scan, they say at the airport, sometimes in the metro, some places, even when you go through the metro, first you go through send all the baggage to the X-ray scan, right? Okay, so the X-ray scan, let's say that there are two X-ray scans. Two X-ray scans, right? Two two X-ray machine. Two X-ray machines. One X-ray machine is the X-ray machine of the conventional analysis, and the other X-ray machine is the X-ray machine of the ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Okay, X-ray machine, what do you do? In the machine, you send the object. You send the object like this, and then what happens? It goes into the machine. Then what happens? Then it comes from the other end, right? You're getting it? Okay, now group A uses the X-ray machine of the conventional analysis. Group B uses the X-ray machine of the ultimate analysis. You got it? Okay, group A. Now your machine, you put the pen, what comes out? Pen comes out. Conventional analysis. What do you see? You see a pen. Right? You put the pen to the ultimate conventional analysis, what comes out? Pen comes out. Hey, group B, you are using the which X-ray machine? The X-ray machine of the ultimate analysis. Right? You put the pen, what comes out? Emptiness of the pen comes out. Do you see emptiness or not? No. So the flower disappears. Flower disappears. Hey, group B, what are you seeing? Hey, group A, what are you seeing? Group A, what are you seeing? Flower. Group B, what are you seeing? Emptiness of flower. You have found the emptiness of flower, right? Okay, so group B, in your machine, you send the flower. What comes out? Emptiness of the flower comes out. Right? Emptiness of the flower comes out. Say, group B, emptiness of the flower comes out. You're getting it? Okay, now, machine A is the machine, what machine? Machine of conventional analysis. Machine B is machine of ultimate analysis. Okay, now, whatever comes out from the machine A is the conventional truth. Whatever comes from machine B is ultimate truth. You getting it? Okay. Now, what is the conventional truth of this pen? How do you check? You send it through the conventional machine. You send it. What comes out? Pen comes out. So the pen is the ultimate truth, conventional truth of the pen. Now you want to know the ultimate truth of this pen. What do? You send it to the other machine. What comes out? Emptiness of the pen comes out. What's the ultimate truth of this pen? Emptiness of the pen. You're getting it? Same object has two truths, depending on which machine you use. If you see this object through the ultimate conventional analysis, you see the conventional truth. If you see the same object through ultimate analysis, you see the you see the ultimate truth of the object. You're getting it? Okay, so therefore, every phenomena has two truths. Every phenomena has two truths. You getting it? Okay. Do you agree with me that every phenomenon has two truths? You're getting it? Okay. So this flower, physical form, it says, Heart Sutra. In Heart Sutra, what does it say? Form is empty. Then what is second? Emptiness is form. What is third? Emptiness no other than form. Form is no other than emptiness. So these four lines is the essence, quintessential of the Heart Sutra. And Heart Sutra is the quintessential of all the teachings of the Buddha. You're getting it? Okay, if you understand this stanza so well, with so much of conviction, not just, okay, because he said it, not like this, yes, I know this, right? Form is empty, emptiness form. This is so true. When this conviction comes to you, you have understood the quintessential of all the teachings of the Buddha. You're getting it? Okay. So first, what's the first line? Form is empty. Okay, so here, what do you see as, okay, this flower is so beautiful, the cheesecake is so delicious, croissant is so delicious, I miss croissant, right? All these, what triggers emotions in us? what triggers emotion as sadness, anger, jealousy, attachment. All these, what triggers emotion in us, these objects. For example, let's say the flower. Okay, this flower, we see this flower in one way as so objectively real, that independent of any subject, independent of the mind, that something is still there. Okay, look at this flower. How does this flower appear to you? Independent of your mind, is so solidly, is this how it appears to you? Yes? Good. Okay, so this is known as the flower seen as objectively real. The flower seen as objectively real. And that is deceptive. How do you know this? Let's say, if you look at this flower through naked eyes, if you look at this object through naked eyes, you see this as a flower. If you see the same object through electron microscope, you see this as emptiness of flower. You getting it? Okay. From this, we see that which of the two perceptions is correct? Both are correct. How can both be correct? If it is from the object. If it is from the object, it can only have one thing. Either flower or non-flower. It cannot be both. But how can you say that both are correct? Both are correct if you say there are two different subjects. There are two different subjects, right? Two different subjects, there's two different perceptions. It's just a perception, not object. It's just a perception. Then two are correct. Is the object? There's only one object. Subjects, how many subjects are there? There are two subjects are there. What are they? Conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. Two subjects are there. If you say that this what I'm seeing is just the subjective, coming from the subject, then no problem. You can say that both are correct. Because with respect to conventional analysis, the flower is true. With respect to ultimate analysis, absence of emptiness of flower is true. Both are correct. If this object exists from the subject. Because subject there, how many subjects are there? What are they? Conventional analysis and the ultimate analysis. If the subject, if you say this exists subjectively, then there's no problem to say that both are correct. We see it's a flower, I see this as sun, group B sees the emptiness of flower, group A sees this as a flower. There's no contradiction. Whereas if you say this object exists objectively from the object, subject has nothing to do. That object, there should be two different objects. One is a flower, absence of flower, but it's not true from the object side, right? There are two different perceptions. Two different perceptions are true only if the object that you're seeing is subjectively real. You're getting it? Okay. So from this, Heart Sutra says, what the conventional mind, conventional analysis sees as a form, this object seen by conventional mind as a conventional analysis as a form is empty of form. It's not form in the eyes of the ultimate analysis. Form is emptiness. You agree? You agree with me? You agree with me that what I see as a form, this object that I'm looking at, the same object that I'm looking at, when seen from the conventional analysis is a form. What is seen as a form by the conventional analysis is the same object is empty of being a form with respect to the ultimate analysis. So emptiness is no form is empty. What group A sees as a form is what group B sees as empty. You agree with me? This meaning of the form is empty. So form is empty. Okay, look. Okay, I'm going to make some statements, and you tell me which is the main emphasis. This flower is beautiful. This flower is yellow. This flower is existent. This flower is mine. Where is the emphasis? On the flower. So the flower is the characteristic. All other are flower is the characterized. All other are characteristics. You're getting it? Now I say, okay, This is a little technical, you must know this. Emphasis, where I place emphasis. This flower is impermanent. Emphasis on the flower or the impermanence. This flower is impermanent. Emphasis where? Okay, don't fight. Some say impermanence, some say flower, don't fight. Okay, don't fight, I will give the second one. Now I say impermanence of the flower. Impermanence of the flower. Which emphasis?
Flower.
Okay, look, now I will say both the sentences. Don't say anything, you. Right? First sentence I said, flower is impermanent. Number two, impermanence is impermanence of the flower. Okay, say in the first case, do you see the slight difference? Flower is impermanent. Number two, impermanence of the flower. Do you see slight difference? Okay, say the difference is the emphasis. Impermanence of the flower, which is the emphasis? Emphasis on the impermanence of the flower.
Flower.
Okay, you raise your hands those who say impermanence of the flower. I want to know the impermanence of the flower. Okay, raise your hands. The emphasis on the impermanence. Raise your hands. Okay, the flower is impermanent, right? Space is not impermanent. Flower is impermanent. Emphasis on where? Okay, on the flower. Okay, so therefore this is extremely important. So while the meaning is the same, flower is impermanent, impermanence of flower. In both cases, you understand the flower is impermanent, but emphasis is different. This is extremely important part of language, right? So okay, say the form is empty. Flower is impermanent. Form is empty. When you say form is empty, emphasis is on the form. Form, and you are describing the form. You describe the form to be empty. Empty of objective existence. So what is this form? Form is empty of objective existence. You're getting it? Form is empty of objective existence. So when you say the form is empty of objective existence, you are looking for what? You look for the ultimate truth or the conventional truth? Okay. What group A sees as form is what group B sees as emptiness of the form. Emphasis, you are talking about which truth? Form is empty. The form is empty of objective existence. Right? Which is the description? Form is description or the emptiness of objective existence is description? Emptiness of objective existence is description. So description. That description tells you which truth. Form is empty. Which is description? Emptiness is description or the form is description? Form is described. The description is emptiness. Okay, so description is, whatever is the description is the truth that we are talking about. So when you speak about the form is empty, what is description? Emptiness. So emptiness is ultimate truth, the conventional truth. Ultimate truth. So when you say form is empty, what we see as a physical form is actually empty with respect to ultimate analysis. So that emptiness, that is the ultimate truth. So the first line, form is empty, talks about the ultimate truth. Now group B. But group B sees as emptiness is not empty at all. It is what the group A sees as form. What group B sees as empty is what group A sees as form. So that form is with respect to what? It is seen as form with respect to conventional analysis. Conventional analysis subject to the object. Subject. So this, what you see as empty is actually what is seen as form by the conventional mind. What is seen by conventional mind, the conventional analysis known as? Okay, what is seen? Okay, convention. So what machine you are keeping? Which machine you are keeping? Machine of conventional analysis. So from what you put in your machine, what comes out of that is what? Conventional truth. Don't forget it, right? So what is found by the conventional analysis is known as conventional truth. So when you say emptiness is form, emptiness of form, emptiness is what is seen as form by the conventional analysis. So that form is what? Which two truths? Conventional truth. You're getting it? So the second line says emptiness of form, it is talking about the conventional truth. Right? Now we see two truths. Form is empty is what? Ultimate truth. Emptiness of form is conventional truth. So these two truths, are these two truths two different objects? One in Paris, one in Saint Cosme? Like there's two different objects? No, it's the same object. Same object depends on what analysis you use. If you use the ultimate analysis, you see the ultimate truth. If you use the conventional analysis, you see the conventional truth. So therefore, hey look, form what group A sees is what group B sees as emptiness. What group B sees as emptiness is what group A sees as form. Okay, now we see that there's form, there's emptiness of form. So these two are the same object. These two are the same entity or different entities. Wow. I'm so happy, thank you. Okay, these two are same entity. Same entity means same nature. The two truths are the same nature. Right? Two truths are not different entities. These two are the same nature. They are not different from each other. Right? They are not different from each other. So emptiness is not different from the form, and form is not different from the emptiness. You're getting it? It's the same. These two are the same thing. The two different truths of the same object. Two different truths of the same object. Okay. Now with this, what is so important is, okay, look. When you see that form is empty, the first understanding, form is empty, you are seeing which truth? Hey, which truth are you seeing? Form is empty, the first line. Buddha said form is empty. Ultimate truth. When you see the form is empty, what happens? All the negative emotions dissolve. All the negative emotions dissolve. When you say form is empty, all the negative emotions, fear, anxiety, stress, tension, hatred, attachment, everything dissolves. When you see form is empty, what is next? Emptiness is form, right? Then you see that form is empty means the form from the object side everything is empty. You're getting it? From the object side it is empty. From object side empty. If does form exist or not? Form exists, not exist? No, does it exist or not? Huh? It exists. Yes, it exists because we started the concept study of emptiness with two questions. What are the two questions? Do things exist? Number one. What's the answer? Yes, right? Okay, what's the second question? Do things exist objectively? What's the answer? No. Okay, so with this, now when you say form is empty, you are giving answer to the second question. What is the second question? Do things exist objectively? What is the answer? No. Which means from the object side is empty. Object side is empty. Right? How the negative emotions arise? How the negative emotions arise when you see things as objectively real. You're getting it? Okay. This we must gain conviction. This we must gain conviction. In the dream, right? In the dream, for example, say the analogy that I gave you. Okay, let's say the dream. Say, in the dream you are chased by a ghost. You are chased by a ghost and then you run. Or you are chased by a snake. Right? You run. What's the feeling? So much of fear in the air. You wake up, you continue to run? Huh? You continue to run? No, you stop running. In the dream, if you stop running, what happens? In the dream, if you stop running, what happens? The fear the fear increases. You agree with me? In the dream, if you stop running, the fear increases. Now the snake will attack me. Okay. Whereas when you wake up, you stop running, the fear, instead of increasing, the fear dissolves. You're getting it? Okay, tell me, that dream is not real. That dream snake is not real. Why did you have fear in the dream? Tell me, why? Anyone? Hey, you know it. Yes, Anastasia. You see that is existing from objectively by itself, from itself. You see that it's so real, objectively real, right? Okay, when you see that's objectively real, then the emotions arise. Attachment, anger, fear, tension, all these arise. The moment you wake up, the fear dissolves. Because you know that from the object, it's empty. It's just coming from the mind. You're getting it? It's extremely important. So the Heart Sutra, when it says, form is empty. The first line, with this understanding, all the negative emotions dissolve. Because you know that everything is empty of objective existence. You getting it? Okay, now what's the second line? Emptiness is form. Right? What we see as empty, objectively empty, it exists. Yes? Things exist or not? Things do exist, but they don't exist objectively. Then how do they exist? How do they exist? If things do exist, but they don't exist objectively, how do they exist? Subjectively. Okay. Subjectively means things exist like a dream. Just as a dream is created by a subject, by a mind, everything exists from the mind, from the subject. So it says, form is empty. Next one is emptiness is form. That empty, although things are empty of objective existence, but there is a subjectively existent form. A subjectively existent form. It's not total nothingness. It is not total nothingness. There's a subjectively existent form. Right? When you know the second line, emptiness is form, then what happens is you know the emptiness is the form of dependent origination. Right? Emptiness, form is empty. This is, emptiness. Then when you say emptiness of form, you know the emptiness in the light of dependent origin. Things exist by dependence on the subject. Dependent on the subject. So things exist by dependence on the subject. So emptiness is form. Second line says, emptiness should be seen as dependently originated form. So when you understand the second line, you understand dependent origination. When you understand dependent origination, what happens? All the positive qualities will grow in you. By seeing understand the first line, negative emotions dissolve. By understanding the second line, positive emotions grow, compassion, and so forth. All these grow. How? Because you know that things exist by dependent origination. By dependence on helping others, my happiness grows. By dependence on harming others, my miseries grow. Right? By dependence on harming others, my miseries grow. By dependence on helping others, my happiness grows. So you know the dependent origination so well. When you know dependent origination, then because of kindness of others, I reap the maximum benefit. So your compassion grows, your love grows. All the good qualities grow on the basis of understanding the second line. Emptiness is form. You're getting it? So therefore, by seeing emptiness, you should be able to see the emptiness and dependent origination. Dependent origination to mean the same. So by seeing emptiness, what happens? The first line, emptiness, all the negative emotions dissolve. By seeing dependent origination, all the positive emotions will grow. Compassion, happiness, all will grow. You're getting it? So what do you want? You want all your fears to dissolve, yes? If you want all the fears to dissolve, you have to understand the first line. Empty form is empty, right? So emptiness experience will help you to dissolve all your fears and all your negative emotions. And what do you want? I want happiness. If you want happiness, you have to understand the second line. That emptiness is form, which means emptiness, because things are empty of objective existence, things subjectively exist. Subjectively existing form is there. So therefore, everything exists by dependence on the subjectivity, by dependence on subjective imputation. So the second line will tell us the dependent origination. On this basis, we see that the understanding of all the virtues will grow. Okay, this is very important. Now, with the virtues, your happiness will grow. And with the emptiness understanding, your negative emotions will dissolve. So therefore, all your fears will dissolve. Okay, this one thing. Now, okay, let's say, we said that everything has two truths. By understanding the ultimate truth, your negative emotions dissolve. By understanding conventional truth, your positive qualities will grow. Okay, if this is the case, are you sure that everything has two truths? Hey, are you sure that everything has two truths? Are you confident? Yes. Tell me, emptiness, does it exist or not?
Yes.
Emptiness, does it exist or not?
Yes.
Emptiness exists. Oh, yes. Emptiness exists. If emptiness exists, does emptiness have two truths?
Yes.
Yes. What is the conventional truth of emptiness? Emptiness is conventional truth. Emptiness is found by which of the two analyses? Ultimate analysis or conventional analysis? This is my question to the friends.
Emptiness of what?
Huh?
Emptiness of what?
Emptiness, is it found by ultimate analysis, conventional analysis? Emptiness, hey. Emptiness is ultimate truth or conventional truth? Tell me. Emptiness, ultimate truth or conventional truth? Ultimate truth. Because it's ultimate truth, it is found by which of the analysis? Ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Okay, it's found by ultimate analysis. It's not found by conventional analysis. Okay, now tell me, what is the conventional truth of emptiness? Emptiness. Okay, emptiness is conventional truth. Huh? We said it's ultimate truth. We already said it. Yes, form is conventional truth. What is emptiness? Emptiness is conventional truth, ultimate truth. Huh? Huh? Both. What the ultimate analysis, what is seen by ultimate analysis and what is seen by conventional analysis, these two are opposites. These two are opposites, right? Conventional analysis is where the conventional people agree. Ultimate analysis where the conventional does not agree. These two opposites, right? Okay, tell me, what's the conventional truth of emptiness? You just through a small challenge, you get lost.
Emptiness.
Yes, the visionary, tell me. What's the conventional truth of emptiness? You said that everything has two truths, so emptiness also should have two truths. What is conventional truth of emptiness? Conventional emptiness. Okay. Okay, conventional emptiness. Right? Okay, let's say it's very easy. It's very easy. To see whether it's conventional truth or not, what should you do? Hey, use the machine. To see whether it is conventional truth or ultimate truth, which machine should you use? Machine of the conventional analysis. So they say emptiness, you pick up emptiness and put it through the, hey, Group A. Group B, listen. What Group A is saying. Hey, you pick up emptiness and put it in your machine. Which machine? Machine of conventional analysis. What comes out? Emptiness comes out. So emptiness is the conventional truth of the emptiness. You're getting it? emptiness is the conventional truth of the emptiness. Then what is the ultimate truth of what is the ultimate truth of the emptiness? Put the emptiness in the which machine? Machine of the ultimate analysis. So you put it there, what comes out? You put the emptiness, what comes out? Huh? What comes out? If you put emptiness in the emptiness comes out or non-emptiness comes out? Emptiness comes out, right? You put emptiness, what comes out? Hey. What comes out? Empty. You put emptiness in the machine of ultimate analysis. What comes out? Emptiness comes out, right? You agree with me? Emptiness comes out. No, you put emptiness in the machines or ultimate analysis. Emptiness of the emptiness will come out. Yes. So emptiness doesn't come out. Emptiness is not emptiness. Emptiness or not? Emptiness or not? It's not. It's not emptiness. It's conventional truth. Right? Huh?
Emptiness squared.
Okay. So let's say. Okay. So this you decide. Right? You decide. So the question, do you follow the question? Emptiness also has two truths. So what is the ultimate truth of the emptiness? What do? You have to put it in the ultimate analysis. When you subject the emptiness to ultimate analysis, what will you find? You find the emptiness of the emptiness. Emptiness is emptiness or not?
Yes.
If it is emptiness, then you have found emptiness. So emptiness becomes the ultimate truth of the emptiness. What do you say? Emptiness, the conventional truth of the emptiness. Huh? Okay, you understood the question?
Yes.
Did you understand the question? If you understand the question, you have to discuss it in the group discussion. Right? Okay, now. Okay, now with the analysis of the emptiness or the meditation emptiness, what we did from yesterday, day before yesterday I think, is the establishing emptiness on the basis of establishing emptiness with the reasoning of the four essentials. You're getting it? That is extremely important. There are so many kinds of reasoning. To establish emptiness. But these the four essentials. This is something which is somehow connected with all other reasonings. Okay, now with this, there's what is known as the reasoning to establish emptiness. To establish emptiness, there are several reasonings. One reasoning is known as the reasoning. Okay, say the reasoning to reject the seven modes of objective existence. Reasoning to reject the seven modes of existence to establish emptiness. Okay, reasoning to establish emptiness. Okay, let's put it like this. Reasoning to establish emptiness by rejecting the seven modes. Reasoning to establish emptiness by rejecting the seven modes. So we have to study what these seven modes are, and we need to know how to reject the seven modes. Okay. With this, now the seven modes. Seven modes, Buddha. So the rejecting seven modes was taught by Acharya Chandrakirti. Rejecting seven modes is taught by Acharya Chandrakirti. Then Arya Nagarjuna rejected 5. Arya Nagarjuna rejected 5. And the Buddha at one point rejected 4. Buddha rejected 4. Then Arya Nagarjuna added one more and made it rejection of 5. Then Acharya Chandrakirti added 2 more and made it 7. Okay, so the Buddha Shakyamuni, at one point, of course, the Buddha Shakyamuni taught different teachings at different places to different people. At one point, the Buddha rejected. Buddha established emptiness on the basis of rejection of the four rejection of the four modes of objective existence. Then Nagarjuna added one more, made it five rejection. Then Acharya Chandravarti added two more, making 7 rejections. You getting it? Okay. First, we have to enumerate what the 7 are, and then I'll explain to you which are the two added by which two are added by Acharya Chandravarti, which was added by Nagarjuna. Okay. First, these 7 modes, and then we have to reject each one of them. Right? 7 modes. The first one. 7 modes, they are pretty easy. Oneness. Okay, 7. Oneness. Number 2, differentness. Number 3, dependent. Number 4, dependee. Don't worry, just write it down. I'll let you know. Number 4, dependee. Number 5, possession / appropriation. Possession/appropriation, same. Number 6, the special shape. Special shape. Okay, sorry. I'll say the number 6, collection. Number 6, collection. Number 7, special shape. Special shape. Okay. Let us begin. Let me say this again. Oneness, differentness, dependent, dependee, possession/appropriation, collection, and special shape. Special shape / configuration. Special configuration. Oneness. Okay. If you already note them down, then they say that together with me. Oneness, differentness, dependent, dependee, possession/appropriation, collection, special shape / special configuration. Okay, 7. Good. Now the Buddha, the Acharya Chandravarti, Nagarjuna said only the first 5. Nagarjuna rejected only first 5. The later two were added. The later two were added by Acharya Chandravarti. Right? Okay. Then the second one was added by Nagarjuna. Right? Okay. The last 2 was later addition, and the second one was what is the second one? Differentness was added by Nagarjuna. This rejection of the differentness was added by Nagarjuna. So Buddha taught only the first, third, and the fourth. What? First, third, fourth, and fifth. Buddha taught the rejection of the first, third, fourth, and the fifth. Nagarjuna, which means the Buddha rejected only 4. Then Nagarjuna added number 2, which makes 5. Then Acharya Chandravarti added the last 2, making 7. You getting it? Okay. Now, handout, which you translated. Two zero three. Yes. Okay. In English, 205. 205. Neither the aggregates, no different from the aggregates. In English, 205.
206.
In English, 206. Okay, those listen to the French, did you find it? Did you find it? Those listening to the French? Anasofa, you got it? Good. Ellie? Good. Clear? Good. Okay, English, you got it? Neither the aggregates. Okay. Okay, now say, and don't read it, just mentally read it, right? So we're going to identify the 7 rejections. Neither the aggregates, the first one. Aggregates are not the self. Oneness. Rejection of the oneness. No different from the aggregates. Rejection of the differentness. Rejection of the differentness. Number 2. Aggregates don't depend on him. Aggregates don't depend on him. This is dependence. This is actually not dependence. This is a dependee. Dependee. Aggregates don't depend on him. Dependee. Nor is he dependent on him. This is dependent. The Tathagata does not possess aggregates. Possession. Okay, how many? How many rejections? 5. So this stanza is, this composition is by Aranigarjuna. You're getting it? This composition by Aranigarjuna. Okay. The Tathagata does not possess aggregates. What is the Tathagata? Okay. So this is how we should be meditating on emptiness. You're getting it? Don't forget this. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. Now we will this, right? Okay. First, let's say, because we already did the 4 essentials, now it becomes very easy. What's the first one? Rejection of the 7 modes. What's the first rejection? Oneness. That the self. Okay, the self is not one with the aggregates. Self is not one with the parts. Self is not one with the elements. Up to you. You want to meditate on the basis of these 5 aggregates or the 6 elements. Up to the individual. It depends on you. Both are there. Both are taught by Aranigarjuna. Right? Okay. So when you say rejection, okay. First tell me what are the 7? What are the 7? Okay. In English. First in English. What are the 7? Rejection of oneness, differentness, dependent, dependee, possession, collection, special shape. Okay, now in French. First one, number 2, 3, number 4, 5? No. Yeah. Huh? Number 6? Number 7? Number 8? Okay, good. Okay, these must be, so when you do the good discussion, first don't jump to the questions, right? So first you say, what are the 7 rejections? What are the 7 rejections? Let everybody say this. It becomes very clear. Once that is clear, then you start with the questions. Right? That's very important. Even for somebody to be able to say that the 7 rejections correctly, enumerate the 7 rejections correctly, even that is incredible merit. Incredible merit and incredible activation of your intelligence to realize emptiness. Right? So therefore this is very precious. Now, let's quickly do this. Rejection of oneness. That the self is not one with the parts, one with the aggregates, one with the 6 elements. You understand this? Right? So this comes under which of the 4 essentials? Tell me. Alex? Second. Very good. Okay, we have to relate the 7 rejection with the 4 essentials, right? We have to relate these two, because what we said is that somehow all reasonings of emptiness, somehow they are related to the 4 essentials. So therefore rejecting the 7 modes should be also related to the 4 essentials. So the first rejection of oneness. So that is related to which of the 4 essentials? Second one. Very good. What's number 2? Rejection of the differentness. Now we have to say rejection of differentness. Rejection. Rejection of the differentness, which means now the self. Okay, the parts are not me, aggregates are not me. Remove the aggregates. Then is it different from the self? Is it different from the aggregates? Remove the aggregates, what happens? No, there's no self left. Self is not different from the aggregates. You reject the differentness. Reject the differentness, which is number 2 in the rejection of the 7 modes, is related to which of the 4 essentials? Essential number 3. Very good. Wow. I'm so happy. Okay. Now, what's number 3? Hey, what is number 3? Dependent. Rejection of dependence. Rejection of dependence. That the self. Okay, self. Yourself. You. Are you dependent on your aggregates? Hey, are you dependent on aggregates? So it says a rejection of the dependence. How should you reject it? Are you dependent on the aggregates? Yes. You tell me, how are you dependent on the aggregates? Tell me. Don't just say this. Ocean?
If we remove the aggregates, nothing is left.
Okay, if you remove the aggregates, nothing is there. So you depend on the aggregates. Yes? Anyone else? There could be many reasons. What Ocean said is correct. Anyone else? Yes?
If you remove only one, for example, form of Nico, then nobody sees Nico anymore.
Okay, so the physical form, if you remove, then that I'm human beings makes no sense. Right? And then what did you say? Then people cannot see me.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's true. So therefore, which means that the I'm dependent on the aggregates. Very good. But now to reject it. Hey, Group A, what analysis you use? Group B, what analysis do you use? Ultimate analysis. What do you mean by ultimate analysis? Analysis? Hey, what does it mean by ultimate analysis? No idea. Analysis? Okay, anyone, raise your hands. What do you mean by, just speak about it doesn't matter, it's just few days. In few days we are covering like 20 years of studies, right? Okay, so I will not expect you to give a perfect answer. Any idea, anything. The point for us, I'll tell you 2 things. To give the correct answer and to have your intelligence growing. Of the 2, what I want is, I don't want the correct answer. I want your intelligence to grow. You're getting, that is more important. So with this, any answer that you give, your intelligence activated. That is important. Okay, tell me. Now tell me. Right? Say, what do you understand by ultimate analysis? In other words, what's the difference between ultimate analysis and the conventional analysis? Anyone? Yes, Alex.
Ultimate analysis analyzes objective existence of this.
Ultimate analysis.
Subjective.
Exactly. Ultimate analysis is the analysis to see what's objectively there. Right? Ultimate. Okay, objective versus objective as opposed to subjective. Conventional as opposed to ultimate. You're getting it? So ultimate and objective mean the same. Ultimate and objective mean the same. You're getting it? Oh, you learned that, right? The ultimate and objective mean the same. Which means that ultimate analysis means analyzing what is objectively there. You're getting it? Analyzing what is objectively there. Okay. So, now, the self depends on the aggregates? Yes, no? Okay, maybe you are hungry lunchtime. The answer is not coming up. Okay. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasambrati Bodhisvatya Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata. Three positions. Okay, at the end of the day, Sunday morning we are going to offer, so we're going to do soul offering to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattas. The idea of the soul offering, soul means the accumulation. So we go through the journey of Gati Gati Paragati Parasam. Seems like the French. Okay, you understand it? Okay, so I'll say this again. Okay, I'll say this again. So the soul offering we'll do on Sunday morning. So the idea of the soul offering is that the soul means accumulation. Accumulation for us to, for example, say like to build a big structure, like you say the Kalachakra Center, what's the building, the prayer hall, and so forth. We need materials. Materials. We have to gather materials. We accumulate materials. So likewise, for us to build the castle of the Buddhahood, the Bodhiswaha. So Bodhiswaha, Buddhahood. For that matter, we need to accumulate the materials. What materials? Materials of the merit and the materials of the wisdom. So we speak about the accumulation of merit and the accumulation of the wisdom. So the Gueshe Damdul, meaning the accumulation of gathering, the accumulation of the wisdom, and Sonam Sok, accumulation of merit. We need both. So particularly what we're doing here is with more emphasis on the wisdom accumulation. So meanwhile, we also need to have the merit accumulation. So without these two things together, again, we cannot really go through the journey. It is like, say, somebody who has a very sharp eyes, who know where to go, but physically so weak, who cannot move. So this is where the wisdom is there, but the merit is lacking. And another person has so much of physical energy, but the eyes are blind. You don't know where to go. So wisdom is lacking, the energy, merit is there. So what we need both. For that matter, say even in your daily practice, say this collective practice, group practice, this is amazing. And even for your daily practice, it is good. As a part of making the merit accumulation, one is by making offerings of the light, offering of the edibles, anything good that you have. For example, when you go to buy, say, the clothings, you buy it and mentally you offer this to all Bodhisattvas. So this is the accumulation of the merit for you. So at the end of the day, at the end of the retreat, we conclude this by accumulating merit, because the fact that we're able to do this retreat, which is so precious, later on you will know that in your life, with all the Dharma practices, you would realize that what we did here, like the 7 days, the Bodhicitta retreat, this is the most precious thing of your Dharma practice, of all. You realize this later on, particularly when you are into Dharma practice for some time. So for that matter, we have been very fortunate, no doubt that we have enough merit that we're able to do this practice together. Oftentimes what happens is that somebody can become sick, somebody can, hear bad news from the family, you have to go back. So all these things can happen, which are the indications of the obstacles. So the fact that such things is not happening, we are all, and then sometimes conflicts can happen in the group. Very complicated. So therefore, these are obstacles. So the fact that people here, they are so harmonious, so friendly, although most of us, we don't know each other, but still coming here, we become so friendly and so forth. This is a very clear indication that we are going in a proper direction. It's all because of the merit accumulation, because of the tremendous energy of the merit. So now, the thing is that merits, as you go further, for example, for somebody to, say, to finish high school, then the college, university, then a PhD. For this, the energy must be more and more, because less number of people students can graduate PhD. So likewise, for us to go through this journey, as you go higher and higher, we need more and more merit. So for that matter, say the merit accumulation collectively, doing by yourself, doing collectively, extremely more powerful. So therefore, as a part of that, we are being offering of this soul offering, doing the soul offering, as a part of merit accumulation for us collectively, so that not only this time, but even in the future, that you be able to successfully continue your Dharma practice. So for that matter, the point is that for the accumulation, it's not that for the Buddhas will be more happy if you offer more edibles. This is not, for the Buddha there's no difference. But for us there's a difference. From our side, the more we offer, and particularly more precisely with the pure heart, if you do the offering, it becomes a very powerful accumulation merit. So for this deliberately, we conduct this soul offering, otherwise we can just conclude without doing anything to the dedication that we really know. But to continue this practice in the future successfully, for that matter, we're doing this offering in the end. So for that, any contributions that you want to make, it's not necessary that you have to make big amount of contributions. It's not necessary. The purity of your heart counts. That is important. So therefore, whatever amount of contribution that you want to make, at the end, there's what envelope is envelope there. So whatever amount of contribution that you want to make for this, to provide the edibles as offering for the accumulation merit, for yourself, for your family members, for all sentient beings, with a pure heart, you make the contribution to the, it should not be mixed with the feeling of the stinginess, right? So whatever you can, do it with a pure mind. So this is very important. So in short, on a daily basis, not only just today, this time, on a daily basis, see how much you can involve yourself in, the accumulated merit by the generosity, what the capacity that you can. For example, say like the big monastery universities like Sarah, Tebung, and then these monasteries, the monks, there are thousands and thousands of monks there. And what they do is they dedicate whole their life for the studies, bodhicitta, emptiness, and so forth. So you can just say, again, this is another way of doing it. Say you can dedicate, like say for example, say 10 euros a year, 100 euros a year, whatever you can, you can donate to make sure that it goes not just to one particular monk, it goes to the thousands of monks. There are ways and means of doing that. So that way you are accumulating merit. And merit that accumulated pertain to these people, these monks who are actually going towards the Gade, right? So when you do that, this is a tremendous factor for you to enhance your practice of the Gade to become very straight. Okay, this is extremely important, right? So sometimes if somebody doesn't explain these things, then you may not know the significance. But when you know the significance, then you see the purpose, right? Okay, so this is what we're doing. And so any donations that you might have within what you can offer is not necessary. I said earlier, I'm reiterating it, I'm emphatically saying this once more. No need for you to force yourself that, oh, I have to. No need. So whatever little contribution that you can contribute, that's fine. It's not necessary, it should be huge amount, right? Okay, thank you.